Welcome back to the show. It's called Brand Equity and I'm Sonali Krishna. Now, Sanjay Kapoor, the CEO of Bharti Airtel, is a very busy man. He fit me into his busy schedule and spoke about everything that's relevant to the telecom major in the coming years. From Airtel's new youth positioning to making 3G affordable and even launching 4G in India, this interview has it all. Take it away. When was the realization actually that you need to change your tack and look at youth as your main segment, at least at this point in time?
So let's look at the way industry is transforming and transforming the world over. The telecom industry is moving from being voice-led services and through data becoming life-enriching services.
Okay.
That's why a change in the vision per se of Airtel. So when that happens, you need catalysts who can bridge the digital divide between the developed world and the developing world. And if you look at the youth, any part of the world, they are akin. Whether it comes to their habits of being always connected, whether it's their dependency on friends, whether it's instant gratification, whether it's their flair for gadgetry, I think they are all akin. The content that they like to have, the gadgets that they like to play on. And we believe that India, with more than 50% of the population below the age group of 26, and also 10 years hence will be amongst the most young nations of the world, we think these are the customers who once invested in are good for next 50 years because they are still young. And their propensity to consume is much higher because their disposable incomes are higher. They are not the customers who believe in 30% savings. Right? They live a very different life, and therefore it makes natural sense to start looking at youth in a very, very different fashion.
Coming to 3G, would you agree that it hasn't taken off to the level that you might have desired?
When you look at the world over, the first 5 to 6 years of launch, most of the operators were dealing with unutilized networks. India has just had less than 6 months of story on the launch of 3G. I think give it a little bit of breather and settling down time for the ecosystem to kick off. The data story in India is bound to set northwards. We are at less than 1% penetration on broadband. Broadband is exactly where voice was in 1994. It can only go northwards. Which technology will enable people to connect to the internet world and play with data is anybody's guess. 2G will always play a role and 2.5G will play a role. 3G will play its own role. 4G will come and take over the higher end customers, and then the fiber will have its own type of broadband services which will be unique to fiber. So I think India will have multiple technologies, but the broadband story in India is bound to be a success over many, many decades to come.
You've also maintained that you think that the launch of 4G will be in line with the rest of the world. Given that telcos have yet to start reaping the benefits of 3G, and it's some time to come now, why do you think people will jump onto 4G, and why do you think it will be in line with the world?
When you look at the India story, India was trailing rest of the world when it came to 2G technologies by 8-9 years, and then India was trailing rest of the world on 3G by good 5-6 years. But when the technology is still evolving around 4G, I think India and Indian companies are very much involved in this whole developmental stuff that's happening across the globe, and there's an opportunity now to actually time the 4G technologies with the rest of the world. So as I speak with you, we are working with operators from all across the globe to make sure we are able to bring the 4G technologies to this country before the end of this fiscal.
Many, many thanks for joining us. Truly a pleasure.
Thank you.
And with